Have you ever seen a man just disappear from women's minds? Not a breakup, but a slow fade, a whisper turning to silence. He dated, he tried, he was there, and then, he was simply forgotten. The women he pursued moved on, barely remembering his name, let alone his impact. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? To invest your time and emotions, only to become a forgotten chapter. You see this pattern everywhere, men making the same mistakes, wondering why they never build lasting connections, why they get ignored or dismissed. The real question isn't what did I do wrong, but what essential actions did I fail to do? Today, we're cutting straight to the Stoic wisdom. We're going to uncover why some men inevitably get forgotten by almost every woman they encounter, and more importantly, reveal the 6 critical Stoic mistakes you absolutely must avoid to ensure you become truly unforgettable. This isn't about manipulation, it's about becoming the man of unshakable character and inner strength. Let's make sure that's you. Let's dive into these crucial lessons right now. When a woman seems to forget you, it feels like a personal invalidation. It chips away at your confidence, makes you replay every interaction, every text, every shared laugh, searching for the moment you became expendable. But here's the profound truth, one that Stoicism drills into our very being. Most often, it's not about a single wrong action you committed. It's about a consistent pattern of mistakes that subtly erode your perceived value and make you, in her eyes, indistinguishable from the next guy. In the complex theater of modern dating, women, consciously or unconsciously, are looking for signals. Signals of strength, of purpose, of emotional fortitude. They're assessing your worth not just by what you say, but by how you carry yourself, how you react to challenges, and most profoundly, how you react to her. When a man consistently makes fundamental errors in these areas, he blends into the background. He becomes another blurred face in the crowd, easily overlooked, and ultimately, easily forgotten. This isn't malicious, it's human nature. The Stoics understood this long before dating apps existed. They taught us that our perception of ourselves dictates how others perceive us. If you carry yourself in a way that suggests you are easily forgotten, that is precisely the reality you will create. But here's the turning point, you have the power to change this. By understanding and avoiding these 6 crucial mistakes, you can reclaim your narrative and etch yourself into her memory, not through force, but through authentic, Stoic strength. Now, let's unveil mistake number 1, the insatiable hunger for her validation. This is, perhaps, the most grievous error that leads men to be forgotten. You text, you double text, you constantly seek her approval, her attention, her praise. You adjust your schedule, your opinions, even your personality, all in a desperate attempt to be liked. This isn't charming, it's exhausting. And it screams, my self-worth depends entirely on your opinion of me. The Stoics would condemn this immediately. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all preached the internal locus of control. Your happiness, your worth, your peace, must come from within. When you make her validation your primary objective, you hand over your power, your dignity, and your very identity to her. You become a leaf blowing in her emotional wind. Think about it, have you ever been truly captivated by someone who was constantly seeking your approval? Or were you more drawn to the person who stood confidently in their own truth, regardless of your immediate reaction? When you are constantly needy, constantly seeking her approval, you become predictable. You become a utility, not a prize. And predictable, dependent men are, unfortunately, very easy to forget. The antidote? Cultivate your inner citadel. Become self-sufficient in your validation. Moving to mistake number 2, reacting emotionally to her tests. Women, often unconsciously, will test you. It might be silence, a delayed response, a slight challenge to your authority, or even a fleeting glance at another man. The man who gets forgotten is the one who reacts emotionally. He gets angry, defensive, anxious, or starts chasing harder. He allows her actions to pull him off his center. The Stoic masters taught us that emotions are often irrational impulses. Marcus Aurelius spoke of not being disturbed by external things. When she tests you, it is an opportunity to demonstrate your unshakable composure. When you get rattled, when you show anger or desperation, you're confirming her subconscious suspicion: this man lacks inner control. He's easily manipulated. And men who are easily manipulated are not seen as leaders or as men of substance, they are forgotten. Instead, when she tests you, observe your emotions, acknowledge them, and then choose your response rationally. This is the dichotomy of control in action. You can't control her test, but you can absolutely control your reaction. By remaining calm, unbothered, and unfazed, you signal immense strength. You become the immovable object, intriguing precisely because you don't conform to her expectations of immediate emotional reaction. This makes you memorable because it makes you different. Now for mistake number 3, lacking a clear purpose or mission. Many men are simply drifting, going through the motions, without a clear mission, a burning passion, or a defined path they're building. They might have hobbies, but no driving force. They're like ships without a compass, beautiful perhaps, but going nowhere in particular. From a Stoic perspective, a life without a guiding purpose, without a pursuit of virtue and self-improvement, is a life half-lived. Seneca passionately argued for a life of intentionality and striving. Women, deeply rooted in their own assessments of potential and stability, are naturally drawn to men who are on a mission. It signals ambition, self-reliance, and a man who is constantly striving for something greater than himself. When you lack a compelling purpose, you become interchangeable. You're just another guy hanging out, another distraction. There's nothing for her to align with, nothing to admire beyond superficial traits. But a man deeply engrossed in building something meaningful, mastering a skill, or pursuing a grand vision, that man exudes a magnetic energy. He has intrinsic value that isn't dependent on her. He is memorable because he is going somewhere, and she can either join him or watch him go. Your purpose is your greatest attractive force. Next, we address mistake number 4, prioritizing her over your principles. A man who gets forgotten is often one who compromises his principles, his values, and his self-respect in pursuit of a woman. He cancels plans with friends, ignores his goals, or even accepts disrespectful behavior, all to keep her around. He demonstrates that her fleeting attention is more important than his own integrity. The Stoics held virtue as the highest good. They believed in living in accordance with reason and maintaining one's character above all else. Epictetus taught us, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. This extends to relationships. When you consistently abandon your principles for her, you show a profound lack of self-respect. You implicitly tell her that your boundaries are flexible, your values are negotiable, and your presence in your own life is secondary. Women, whether they admit it or not, lose respect for a man who sacrifices himself on the altar of her approval. They don't want a doormat, they want a man who stands firm in his convictions. A man who respects himself, his time, and his principles is a man who commands respect. He is memorable because he embodies strength of character, not weakness of will. Don't compromise your essence for anyone. Let's move to mistake number 5, chasing external validation, not internal mastery. Many men confuse confidence with external displays of wealth, status, or bravado. They constantly brag, show off, or seek attention through superficial means. They chase the latest trends, the flashiest cars, the most expensive gadgets, believing these externals will make them irresistible. But this is the 5th mistake that leads to being forgotten. They're chasing external validation, not internal mastery. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our character, not externals like wealth or reputation. Marcus Aurelius urged us to turn our attention inward. When a man's worth is tied to his possessions or his ability to impress, he becomes a caricature. He's performing, not being authentic. And women quickly see through the performance. True attractiveness, the kind that leaves a lasting impression, comes from a deep sense of self-awareness and self-mastery. It's the quiet confidence of a man who knows himself, his capabilities, and his limitations, and is constantly working to improve his inner world. The show-off is easily forgotten because his charm is superficial. The man of genuine internal mastery is memorable because his confidence is authentic and his presence is real. Focus on being, not just appearing. Finally, we come to mistake number 6, resisting change and growth. The final, insidious mistake that condemns men to be forgotten is a stubborn resistance to change and personal growth. Life is constant motion, and relationships demand adaptability and continuous self-improvement. The man who is the same person today as he was 5 years ago, who refuses to learn from his mistakes, or who stops striving for betterment, becomes stagnant. He becomes uninteresting. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, were huge proponents of prokoptein, the idea of constant progress and self-improvement. They believed that our greatest work is on ourselves. A man who has stopped growing, who is complacent, loses his spark. There is nothing new for a woman to discover, no new challenge for him to overcome, no new depth to explore. He becomes a closed book. Women are drawn to men who are evolving, learning, and striving. It signals vitality, intelligence, and a capacity for a rich, dynamic future. When you stop growing, you effectively become a museum piece, interesting for a moment, but then easily forgotten as life moves on. Embrace growth, embrace learning, embrace the continuous journey of becoming your best self. That man is impossible to forget because he is always becoming something more. So, there you have it, the 6 crucial mistakes that lead many men to be forgotten by the women they pursue. It's not about being unlucky, it's about a failure to cultivate the very traits that make a man truly memorable. But you, after today, will not be that man. You now understand the pitfalls, the desperation for validation, the emotional reactivity, the lack of purpose, the compromise of principles, the superficial pursuit of externals, and the stagnation of growth. And you have the Stoic blueprint to overcome them. Instead of seeking her validation, cultivate internal self-worth. Instead of reacting emotionally, embrace unshakable composure. Instead of being aimless, define your virtuous purpose. Instead of compromising your values, stand firm in your integrity. Instead of chasing externals, master your inner self. Instead of stagnating, commit to continuous growth. This isn't just about dating advice, it's about building a life of profound meaning and impact. When you embody these Stoic principles, you become a man who is not easily swayed, not easily understood, and most importantly, not easily forgotten. You become a force of nature, driven by purpose, anchored in self-control, and radiating authentic power. Women will not forget a man like that because such a man is rare and deeply magnetic. Take control. Master your emotions. Live by your principles. And become the unforgettable man you were meant to be. If this resonated, if you're ready to stop being forgotten and start living a life of true Stoic power, then hit the like and subscribe button now. Join a community of men committed to mastering their lives, their relationships, and their destiny. Don't let yourself be forgotten. Start your journey to becoming truly unforgettable, today.